If you haven't experienced a morning erection in months, maybe even years, what I'm about to share might sound almost too simple to believe. But according to a urologist who's been studying male health for over 2 decades, the solution might be sitting right in your kitchen cabinet. Just 1 tablespoon of a specific oil before bed. That's it. No expensive prescriptions, no awkward doctor visits, no complicated procedures. Just oils that have been used for thousands of years, but taken at a very specific time for a very specific reason. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Jimmy, if it were that simple, wouldn't everyone know about it? Well, here's the thing. Most men are getting their nutritional advice from sources that completely ignore the timing aspect. They're told to eat healthy fats throughout the day, but nobody talks about what happens when you provide your body with these specific nutrients right before your hormone production peaks. And that timing, it makes all the difference in the world. But before we dive into exactly which oils can restore what you thought was gone forever, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. The information I'm about to share could change your life, and I want to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming content we have planned for men's health. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Morning erections aren't just a random biological quirk that happens to young men. They're actually one of the most reliable indicators of your overall male health. Think of them as your body's daily health report card. When you wake up with a morning erection, your body is essentially telling you, hey, your testosterone levels are good, your circulation is working properly, and your nervous system is functioning like it should. But when they disappear, and for many men this happens gradually and almost unnoticed, it's like your body's alarm system going off. First, you may miss a few days, then weeks. Then suddenly you realize it's been months since you've experienced that natural sign of vitality that you once took for granted. Doctors have a clinical term for this, nocturnal penile tumescence. And here's what's actually happening during those critical hours while you sleep. Your body cycles through different phases of sleep, and during the deepest REM phases, something remarkable occurs. Your testosterone levels peak. We're talking about the highest levels they'll reach in any 24-hour period. At the same time, your blood vessels dilate, and oxygen-rich blood floods into the erectile tissue. In a healthy man, this process is completely automatic. It happens multiple times throughout the night without you even knowing it. But when this stops happening, it's your body's way of telling you that something in the system is breaking down. Maybe it's your hormone production, maybe it's circulation, maybe it's nerve health, or more likely, it's a combination of all three. Now, here's where most doctors get it wrong. They focus on what happens during intimacy, prescribing medications like Viagra or Cialis to help with erections when you need them. But these medications don't address the underlying issue. They don't bring back those spontaneous morning erections that signal your body is truly functioning optimally. To understand why oils work so differently than other approaches, you need to understand something fundamental about how your body makes testosterone. And I'm going to explain this in a way that makes perfect sense without getting too technical. Your body cannot, and I mean absolutely cannot, produce testosterone without 2 key ingredients, cholesterol and fatty acids. These aren't just helpful additions to the process, they're literally the building blocks. Without them, it's like trying to build a house without bricks and mortar. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all fats are created equal, and certainly not all fats are absorbed and utilized the same way. When you eat a piece of chicken or drink a protein shake, your body has to work hard to break down those nutrients. It's a slow, complex process that can take hours. Oils, on the other hand, are different. Certain oils have components that pass almost directly through your intestinal walls and into your bloodstream. We're talking about absorption that happens in minutes, not hours. And when you time this correctly, right before your body's natural hormone production kicks into high gear, you're essentially giving your system premium fuel at exactly the moment it needs it most. Think of it like this. Imagine your body as a factory that does most of its important work during the night shift. Between about 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body is busy producing hormones, repairing blood vessels, and maintaining all the systems that contribute to male vitality. Now, you could rely on whatever nutrients you have stored up from earlier in the day. That's like running a factory on backup supplies. Or You could restock the warehouse with fresh, high-quality materials right before the night shift begins. That's exactly what happens when you take the right oils before bed. You're not just providing calories, you're delivering specific fatty acids and compounds that your body can immediately put to work during its most productive hours. The urologist who first brought this to my attention had been practicing for over 20 years when he started noticing something that didn't make sense according to conventional wisdom. Men who followed Mediterranean-style diets rich in healthy oils like olive oil, were maintaining strong erectile function well into their 60s and 70s. These weren't men taking expensive testosterone injections or popping daily pills. They weren't using any of the pharmaceutical interventions that have become so common in Western medicine. They were simply eating differently, and the difference was dramatic.
This observation led to a deeper question. What if the type and timing of oils consumed could actually play a role in restoring lost function? What if the Mediterranean populations weren't just getting lucky with genetics, but were inadvertently doing something that supported their hormone production in a way that Western diets completely miss? The more he investigated, the more fascinating the picture became. He discovered that different populations around the world had vastly different rates of erectile dysfunction, even when controlling for age, weight, and overall health. The common thread among the populations with the lowest rates? They consumed high-quality oils as a regular part of their daily routine. But here's the key insight that changed everything. It wasn't just about what oils they were consuming. It was about when and how these oils were being utilized by the body. In many of these traditional cultures, the largest meal of the day, the one richest in healthy oils, was consumed in the evening. This meant that their bodies had access to these crucial nutrients during the exact window when hormone production and tissue repair were at their peak. This timing aspect had been completely overlooked by Western nutrition advice, which tends to focus on spreading nutrients evenly throughout the day. But when it comes to supporting male hormone production, timing isn't just important, it's everything. Now, let me walk you through the specific oils that have shown the most promise. And I want you to understand not just what they do, but why they work so effectively when taken before bed. First, let's talk about olive oil. And I'm not talking about the processed stuff you find in most grocery stores. I'm talking about high-quality, extra virgin olive oil that's rich in monounsaturated fats and natural compounds called polyphenols. Research has shown that daily olive oil intake can raise testosterone levels by nearly 20% in just a few months. But here's what's really interesting. Olive oil doesn't just help your body produce more testosterone. It also prevents the breakdown of the testosterone you already have. It's like having a protective shield around your existing hormones while simultaneously boosting production of new ones. When you take olive oil before bed, those polyphenols get to work during the night shift, supporting the cellular processes that keep your hormone-producing cells healthy and active. Next, we have pumpkin seed oil, and this one is particularly fascinating because it addresses a mineral deficiency that's incredibly common in men over 40. Pumpkin seed oil is one of the richest natural sources of zinc, and zinc deficiency is strongly linked to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone. But here's what most people don't realize. Your body doesn't store zinc very well. You need a regular supply, and you need it to be in a form that's easily absorbed. Pumpkin seed oil delivers bioavailable zinc directly to your system, and when taken before bed, it ensures that your body has access to this crucial mineral during the hours when it's doing the most important repair and production work. Coconut oil brings something different to the table: medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. These are special fats that your body can immediately convert into energy. When you take coconut oil before bed, you're providing fuel that keeps your metabolism active overnight. This prevents the metabolic sluggishness that often interferes with hormone regulation and can contribute to poor circulation. Black seed oil is perhaps the most intriguing of all because it works at the cellular level. There are specialized cells in your testes called Leydig cells. Think of them as the actual factories where testosterone is manufactured. Black seed oil contains compounds that protect these cells from damage and actually enhance their ability to produce hormones. It's like giving your hormone factories both protective gear and performance-enhancing equipment. And then there's castor oil. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Castor oil is often associated with digestive issues when taken in large amounts. But in small doses, we're talking about half a teaspoon, castor oil does something remarkable. It improves lymphatic drainage in the pelvic region and reduces inflammation that can interfere with blood flow. Many men don't realize that chronic, low-level inflammation is one of the hidden factors behind reduced circulation and weaker erections. Each of these oils works through a different mechanism, but when consumed strategically before bed, they create what researchers call a synergistic effect. They're not just working individually, they're enhancing each other's benefits. The cultural comparison really drives this point home, and it's something that should make every Western man pause and think. Mediterranean men, despite consuming more total fat in their diets, have some of the lowest rates of erectile dysfunction in the world. The key difference? The quality of fat, not the quantity. In traditional Mediterranean diets, you're looking at olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fish, all sources of high-quality fats that support hormone production and cardiovascular health. These men aren't counting calories or avoiding fat. They're consuming plenty of it, but it's the right kind of fat consumed at the right times.
Compare this to the standard Western diet, which is heavy in processed seed oils, refined carbohydrates, and low-quality fats. These foods don't just fail to support hormone production, they actively interfere with it. Processed oils create inflammation. Refined sugars spike insulin levels that can suppress testosterone, and the timing of meals is completely random, with no consideration for the body's natural rhythms. The result? We're seeing plummeting testosterone levels and widespread erectile dysfunction even in men in their 20s and 30s. This isn't just an aging issue. It's a lifestyle and nutrition issue that can be addressed. Now, let me give you realistic expectations about what to expect and when. This isn't a magic overnight solution, but the timeline is remarkably consistent among men who followed this approach consistently. During the first week, most men report better sleep quality and more energy upon waking. This makes sense because you're providing your body with the nutrients it needs to do its repair work more efficiently. Better sleep means better hormone production, and better hormone production means you wake up feeling more refreshed. In weeks 2 and 3, this is when you typically start seeing the first signs of returning morning erections. They might not be daily at first, and they might not be as strong as you remember, but they're noticeably more frequent than before. This is your body's way of telling you that the systems are starting to come back online. By weeks 4 through 6, you should be experiencing stronger, more consistent erections and better response during intimate moments. This is when the cumulative effects really start to show. Your body has had time to rebuild its nutrient stores, reduce inflammation, and optimize hormone production. At the 2 to 3 month mark, this is when you see the full compounded benefits. Higher testosterone levels, reduced inflammation throughout the body, improved cardiovascular health, and restored confidence. Men at this stage often report feeling more energetic and vital than they have in years. The key to this timeline is consistency. You can't take oils sporadically and expect results. It needs to become part of your nightly routine, just like brushing your teeth. While oils are the foundation, there are a few supporting factors that can amplify the benefits dramatically. Think of these as the supporting cast that helps the main actors, the oils, perform even better. Hydration is crucial because proper blood flow depends on adequate fluid levels. Many men are chronically dehydrated without realizing it, and this directly impacts circulation. Stress management can't be overlooked because chronic stress elevates cortisol, and cortisol is testosterone's enemy. When cortisol is high, testosterone production shuts down. Simple stress reduction techniques like deep breathing or short walks can make a significant difference. Sleep quality multiplies everything else you're doing. If you're not getting quality sleep, even the best oils won't work optimally because your body isn't going through the proper hormone production cycles. And here's one that surprises many men.
pelvic floor exercises. These aren't just for women. Men have pelvic floor muscles too, and strengthening them improves blood flow to the erectile tissue and can enhance the strength and duration of erections. Let's talk about the practical side of this approach. Pharmaceutical options, like Viagra or testosterone replacement therapy, can cost hundreds of dollars per month, and they come with potential side effects and long-term health concerns. High-quality oils, on the other hand, might cost you less than $2 per day, and unlike pharmaceutical interventions that only target one specific issue, oils provide benefits that extend far beyond sexual health. They support heart health, reduce inflammation, improve cognitive function, and enhance overall energy levels. You're not just addressing a symptom, you're supporting the foundation of your male health. Hormones, circulation, and inflammation through something as fundamental as nutrition and timing. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button to help other men discover this approach. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that now because we're going to be covering more natural approaches to men's health that can make a real difference in your life. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you tried incorporating healthy oils into your evening routine? What changes have you noticed? Your experience might help other men who are looking for natural solutions. Remember, small, consistent changes can lead to dramatic improvements in how you feel and function. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are also the simplest ones.